Let's start with something honest. Fear is not ruining your life. That might surprise you, because fear gets blamed for everything. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong choice. But fear itself isn't the real issue. The real problem is what we do after fear shows up. Because fear is natural. Fear is human. Fear shows up whenever you're about to grow. Avoidance. That's the thing that quietly keeps you stuck. And today, I want to help you see the difference. Because once you do, everything changes. Fear is not a warning that says, don't do this. Most of the time, fear is just a signal that says, this matters. Think about it. You don't feel fear about things that are irrelevant. You don't feel fear about things that don't affect your future. Fear shows up when you're about to speak up, you're about to change direction, you're about to be seen. Fear is your nervous system saying, this is unfamiliar. Pay attention. But somewhere along the way, we learn to treat fear like a stop sign instead of a signal. So we pause, we wait, we delay, not because we can't move forward, but because we misinterpret what fear means. Fear doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you're at the edge of something new. Here's what avoidance looks like in real life. You don't say no to growth. You say later. Later when I feel ready. Later when I'm more confident. Later when things calm down. Avoidance is subtle. It doesn't feel like failure. It feels like being responsible. But avoidance has a cost. Every time you avoid something that scares you, fear grows, confidence shrinks, self-trust weakens. And the worst part, your mind doesn't know the difference between I can't and I didn't try. So it starts to assume you're incapable, even when you're not. Avoidance trains your brain to believe the world is more dangerous than it really is. And over time, your comfort zone becomes your cage. Most people think confidence comes first. They say, I'll do it when I feel confident. But confidence doesn't work that way. Confidence is a result, not a requirement. You act first. You survive the discomfort. Then, confidence appears. Every confident person you admire was once uncertain. They just didn't wait for fear to disappear. They moved with fear. Avoidance keeps you waiting for a feeling that only action can create. And the truth is, fear doesn't need to go away for you to move forward. It just needs to stop being in charge. Avoidance doesn't just delay progress. It quietly shapes your identity. You start telling yourself stories like, I'm not the kind of person who takes risks. I'm just not confident like that. That's not really me. But those aren't truths. They're habits formed by repetition. Avoidance creates a version of you that feels smaller than you actually are. And over years, not days, you start living beneath your potential. Not because you weren't capable, but because you kept choosing short-term comfort over long-term growth. Fear asks for courage once. Avoidance asks for regret later. So what's the alternative? You don't fight fear. You don't eliminate it. You redefine your relationship with it. Instead of asking, how do I get rid of fear? Ask, what would I do if fear wasn't allowed to decide? Start small. One uncomfortable conversation. One honest email. One step you've been postponing. Not to be fearless, but to be honest with yourself. Courage isn't loud. Most of the time, it's quiet. It's choosing to act even when your voice shakes. So, here's your reflection. What are you avoiding right now? Not because you can't do it, but because it makes you uncomfortable. Name it, and then ask yourself one question. What's the smallest step I could take toward this today? Not a leap, not a life overhaul, just movement. If this video resonated with you, comment below. I choose movement over avoidance because fear will always visit. That's not a problem, but avoidance doesn't have to live there. And the moment you stop letting fear decide your actions, you take back control of your life.
If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.